ASMR video. Today I am going to discuss some of my unpopular opinions. These are not about anything serious, so you don't have to worry about getting super worked up or angry or whatever. They're about totally innocuous things that don't really matter, but I have strong opinions about, and I suspect other people do also. And since I like themed videos, while I talk about these unpopular opinions, I'm going to show you some triggers that you have definitely never seen before, because they are totally unique to me. So first, I have this volcanic rock. This is real volcanic rock that I took when my wife and I went to Iceland. When we got there, pretty much the whole landscape around us was covered in this. No trees, no grass, nothing, just volcanic rock. It was so cool. Okay, so my first unpopular opinion is that ketchup is fine on pizza. I put ketchup on all pizza, like bad pizza, I used to put it on Elio's. Not that it's bad, but you know what I mean. And I even put it on really good pizza. My wife is Italian, and it actually pains her to see me do that. But I have the palate of a 4-year-old, and I like ketchup on pretty much everything. Speaking of pizza, also pineapple is good on pizza. That's my opinion. Speaking of pizza, I think that this is not a used toothbrush, and it's also not one that I will use in the future, so don't worry about that. I think when it comes to leftover pizza, it's always better cold. I usually have pizza leftovers for breakfast. I'm not the kind of person who thinks that breakfast has to be made of breakfast food. I will eat pretty much anything for breakfast. Leftover Indian food, pizza, Italian food, Chinese food is one of my favorites. I do like breakfast food also, but I don't feel the need to eat breakfast food for breakfast all the time. Traditional breakfast food. Next, this is one that I am weirdly specific about. When you put the roll of toilet paper on a toilet paper holder, I think that the flap should hang over the front rather than hang over the back. And I think that's so much that when I go to... This is gonna sound bad, but when I go to other people's houses and it's hanging off the back, I will flip it around. I do only do that if I know that the people don't care, because we've spoken about it before. When I'm at my parents' house, for example. I do think that an exception to that rule is there are things flaking off of this rock. Maybe I shouldn't be breathing in volcanic dust. But I guess that's my penance for stealing a volcanic rock from Iceland. The exception to the toilet paper rule is people who have children, like little children, or puppies in their house, because they can very easily unravel the entire thing. And as funny as it is to watch videos of little kids and puppies unraveling toilet paper and filling a room with it, I do understand that people would not want that. this glass cup. And I know what you're thinking. You've seen glass cups in ASMR videos before. But not this one. Because I made this. My wife and I went to Washington State a few years ago, and it was right around the time that show Blown Away was really popular on Netflix. It's a show about a glass blowing competition. And while we were in Washington, we had just been watching that show at home. We went to Washington State, and we found that there was the Chihuly Glass Museum there in Seattle. And we went there, and we loved it. It was so cool to see like giant 20-foot tall sculptures made of glass. So we went there, and then when we went home, I booked a class for us to try glass blowing in Brooklyn. I live in New York, by the way. So we went to the glass blowing class, and we got to make these glass balls first. They were basically just paperweights. And then we got to make glass cups. So yes, you've seen glass cups before, but never anything like this. Okay. My next unpopular opinion is that the smell of blown out candles is disgusting. I hate that smell so much. To the point where if I'm putting out a candle, I will just cap it, and that's it. I hate that smell. Next up, cereal should never be eaten without milk, ever. And that might be a popular opinion actually, but I also know a lot of people who will just snack on cereal out of the box. I never ever do that. Also, anyone who puts the milk in first and then cereal, I would not trust them. I have a friend who, when we go away, we do like a friend's weekend every once in a while. Whenever we go away, and we have cereal for breakfast, he has a dry bowl of cereal with a glass of milk next to it. So he eats the dry cereal with a spoon and then drinks milk, and that is serial killer tendency right there. I've never heard of that before. It's crazy to me. My next unpopular opinion is that ranch dressing is disgusting and you shouldn't put it on anything. I'm not even going to discuss that one because I'm going to get sick thinking about it. That's how much I dislike ranch dressing. Next up, I have these two balls from not potpourri, but it's my wife has like a decorative basket with these kinds of balls in them, along with like those wicker, what are those, tumbleweeds? But this one sounds so cool. I was looking through that basket for something that made a cool noise, and this was the last one I picked up. I was like, bingo. And, oh no, pieces are coming off. My wife will not be happy. Maybe I could stick it back on. There's also this one. I have to be careful not to break this one. It feels very fresh. unpopular opinions. When I go to a movie theater, I don't even get popcorn because even their base popcorn without like the gallon of butter sauce that people put on there, even their base popcorn, too much butter flavor. I like when you buy kernels, like salted kernels, and you make it yourself with no butter. That's what I like the most. It's more convenient because you don't have butter all over your hands when you're done, and in my opinion, it tastes better. Next up, cookies from bakeries. Let's talk about this a little. And also, let's switch triggers because there are only so many sounds I can make with that. Oh, actually, what does this sound like? That sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good too. Okay, let's do this. This is just a random brass coupling that I bought to connect two hoses because we recently planted plants in the front of our house, and the hose that we had did not reach there, and we don't have a hose connection in the front, so I bought this to connect two hoses, and it ended up not needing it. Anyway, it makes kind of cool noises. Like tinny clinks, although this is brass, so brassy clinks. Cookies from bakeries. So, and actually, kind of all things from bakeries, but let's start with the cookies. You know, when you're at like a holiday or something, and somebody brings the big tray of cookies from a bakery, and it has like, it's wrapped with the cellophane stuff and tied with the bow, and they always look really nice. Those are one of my least favorite desserts. Definitely my least favorite cookie, 100%. The only one that's like passable is I don't know, it's brown with chocolate in the middle, and the outside is like, it almost looks like bubbly caramel, but it's not caramel because I don't like caramel. That cookie is decent, but the rest, they're all cakey and crumbly and powdery and mostly flavorless. The one with the raspberry jam in the middle, the raspberry jam is the best part, and if the raspberry jam is the best part of your cookie, then, I don't know, in my opinion, not a great bakery. I would take cookies made from like a package, you know, like the pre-made cookie dough or the mix, or even homemade cookies. I don't know why. Bakery cookies, not about them. Another unpopular opinion, and this is kind of a weird one. You know, when you're watching like Netflix or Hulu, and you've been watching a show for a while, and it gives you the option to skip the intro. Don't worry, I'm not going to say that you shouldn't skip the intro. That would be a crazy opinion to have. But I do think that you should watch the intro the first time. Like the first episode you watch, you should watch the intro. And I don't really have a good reason for that, except somebody put time and effort into making it, and you should give it a shot. Intros probably don't tell you much about a show, so it's not like actually important that you watch it, but when we're watching for the first time like a new show, I will never skip the intro. On subsequent episodes, I definitely will, but never on the first one. Let's find something else here. This is weird. This is an eye heating pad thing. So, my wife bought these, and normally when you get them, they have gel inside. This blue stuff is gel. And there's this little metal thing that you can bend back and forth. And when you bend the metal thing back and forth, the blue, like, the white expands throughout the blue. And it heats up, and it gets hot. And you put it on your eye, and it heats up your eye. And I don't know what it's for. But that's what it does. And I bet you've never seen somebody use one of these as a trigger before, and I bet you've probably never even seen one of these. Anyway, now that it's used, it's like hardened. So it makes a really nice tapping noise, or a really nice noise when you tap on it. And you can also put this in hot water, and it turns it back into gel, and you can reuse it up to 100 times, is what it says on the package. Okay, I'm rambling. My next unpopular opinion is that you can and should put pots and pans in the dishwasher. That's another one that I'm not really sure. I don't really know if that's a super unpopular opinion or if people are on my side about that. I have non-stick pans and ceramic coated pans and stainless steel pans and pots, and if they fit in the dishwasher before I put a load in, you better bet that I'm putting it in there. I know it's super easy to wash by hand, but I would rather just not do it. The back of this is like like gauze kind of. So maybe it sounds good with a brush. My next unpopular opinion, and this is probably like a 50-50 split if I'm guessing, is that the Oxford comma should never be optional. If you don't know, the Oxford comma is the last comma before the end in a series of things that you're listing. So if you say, I made an ASMR video with a lava rock, a glass thing I made, and an eye patch, the comma before and an eye patch, even though this isn't an eye patch, the comma before and an eye patch would be the Oxford comma. So technically it is optional in most cases, but I think that you should always use it because it avoids ambiguity. Ambiguity, ambiguity, ambiguity. There are some funny examples of the ambiguity that can come about when you ignore the Oxford comma. You should look them up if you are curious. Next up, this is another strange one. I think waffles are a perfectly acceptable breakfast food, but pancakes are not. And this may stem from the fact that when I was growing up, I don't know why. Okay, I didn't even mean to make that noise. Oh boy, that is good. I don't even know what's happening. Okay, waffles. When I was growing up, I would eat waffles for breakfast, and I would be fine. If I ever ate pancakes for breakfast, they always made me sick. And I don't think it has to do with butter, because I've used butter on waffles before, and it doesn't make me sick. And I've even used the same mix for pancakes and waffles. Waffles don't make me sick. Pancakes do. But I think there's more than that. I think it's acceptable to eat waffles for breakfast because they're just carbs. When you make pancakes, you fry them, and I don't think fried food is the greatest thing for you in the morning. Now, like I said before, I eat anything for breakfast. Pizza, Indian food, Chinese food, whatever, it doesn't matter to me. So, if you like pancakes, that's fine. I just don't think... You know what, I take that back. It's an acceptable pancake food. I can't have it both ways. It's an acceptable pancake food. I just don't like pancakes for breakfast. Waffles are fine for me. sounds. But next, for the triggers, these are chess pieces. This one, what is this made of? It might be, I think it's marble, and this one is made from onyx. I bought this chess set. It also comes with a board. This is a rook, this is a pawn, but I have all the pieces and a board. I bought this set from a cavern that I went down into and did a tour of. And in this, they have this tiny little gift shop. They have this tiny little gift shop, and this chess set was made, supposedly, from minerals and rocks that they mined from that cavern. Now that I think of it, I think that that's probably totally untrue. I think I've been had. But anyway, this is from a chess set made from marble and onyx, so I'm guessing you've never, and they're hand carved, I'm guessing, allegedly hand carved, I'm guessing you've never heard a trigger like this before. Because who has an onyx and marble chess set that's supposedly handmade? Supposedly from rocks in a cavern that they went spelunking in. Okay, next up, pie is the most overhyped dessert. And there's not a single type of pie that's good. I have tried lots of different pies. Apple, blueberry, cherry, shoe fly, or whatever that is. It's just sugar in a pie shell. Pecan pie, which might actually just be shoe fly pie. I'm not sure if there's a difference. Chocolate cream pie, banana cream pie. I just do not like pie. I've tried it on many different occasions from lots of different places. Pretty much every Thanksgiving or Christmas I try some, but I just cannot get behind it. I think it's the worst dessert there is. Okay, last trigger. This is a large canister for making big batches of loose leaf tea. My wife and I were super into iced loose leaf tea for a while, like herbal tea. Oh, and the reason that I got this is because you can do this, and then I have this brush. Go on, go on. Might not make the best noise now that I think of it, but that's okay. My last unpopular opinion is that here's a popular opinion. This is one of the best sounds in the world. Okay, my last unpopular opinion is that driving in complete silence is better than listening to music or podcasts. And I know that that is an unpopular opinion because everyone I talk to thinks that I'm a serial killer because I drive in total silence. My family lives about 2 hours away, and although I usually have someone in the car with me when I go to visit them, on the rare occasion that I don't, I will drive the entire 2 hours, or more likely 3+ hours because of traffic. Don't forget I live in New York. I will drive that entire way in total silence, and I also manage a property upstate that's about 3 hours away. And when I drive there, I always go by myself, and there and back in a single day, 6 hours, I will drive with nothing playing on the radio. I just like get so little time where I'm forced to sit and think. And like there are so many distractions, so I could go sit and think right now, but there are 100 things to do. So I'm gonna end up doing one of them when I'm driving. There's nothing else you can be doing, so it's the perfect time to sit and think. Anyway, so many rambles in this video. That is good. Okay, anyway, I hope that you enjoyed listening to my unpopular opinions and also my rare triggers. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next video.